Hi, Misty. How are you today?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm going to ask you some questions now, okay?
Okay.
Have you ever been a surrogate before?
Yes, ma'am. Two babies.
How many times and when was the last time?
Okay. I have had two sons, boys, I should say. And my youngest son that I gave birth to was August the 25th of 2015.
So it was about 2
Or
years
no,
ago.
2016. Sorry.
Almost a year ago then.
Yes.
Thank you. What made you decide that you would like to become a surrogate for a couple who wants to conceive and cannot?
I had a friend who was going through IVF, and her first one was a failure. And she was getting ready to go through her second IVF transfer and asked me if she couldn't carry, if I would carry for her. Luckily, it did take the second time, but it just kind of planted a seed in me, and it just gave me a desire to want to help somebody.
What are your values about surrogacy?
Um, I'm not really sure. Um,
What do you think about it?
oh, I think it's wonderful. I think it is absolutely wonderful. I love that technology has advanced so far that other women can have kids who can't conceive naturally.
Can you tell me a little bit about your family?
I am newly married. My husband and I have been married for 2 years now. I personally have a 15-year-old son, and we are looking to grow our family with a new addition hopefully soon.
Tell me what your husband's name is and talk to me about your relationship with him a little bit.
My husband's name is Brian. We met actually through a dating site, and we talked for about 4 months before we went on our first date, and I just think he's awesome. The sun revolves around my husband in my eyes.
That's nice to hear. Now you said you had a child. What is his name and how old is he?
My son's name is Andrew, and he just turned 15 in April.
Does Brian have any reservations about legally relinquishing parentage after the birth of a surrogate child?
No,
Do you have a solid support system from your family and your husband to help you face feelings that might be overwhelming about all of this?
I do.
That's good.
Brian is an amazing person.
Describe for me the maternal feelings you experienced during previous pregnancies and how you plan to deal with those feelings as a surrogate if they should arise.
I My maternal instincts are very strong. Um, Being a surrogate, part of that is hard because you do have the maternal bond that being pregnant kind of produces. But knowing that the baby is going to a good family, that the parents love and want this child so much, I have no reservations at all. I feel completely comfortable.
Have you ever experienced complications during a pregnancy, and if so, what kind?
The only complications that I have are migraines, and they are monitored by my doctor very, very closely.
Okay. Um, how do you take care of yourself when it comes to your general health?
Um, I believe that I am a very healthy person. I like to eat a little bit, but I'm fluffy, but I am a very healthy person.
Can you describe your diet on a typical day when you were last pregnant?
Yes, my husband grilled me chicken and steak and shrimp and pineapple, and we ate salads, and oh, yay.
As a surrogate, will you strive to eat a healthy diet or reach out for support if you need to?
Absolutely.
Should you become overwhelmed with morning sickness or other reasons that may be preventing you from get proper nutrition that you need for the baby and yourself, will you reach out for help if that happens?
Absolutely.
Good. Okay. Should more than one embryo be implanted and all of them succeed, what are your feelings regarding fetal reduction or abortion if the couples wish to have no more than one child? And would you be willing to consider carrying twins?
I definitely consider carrying twins. I would be excited to carry twins. Um, my feelings on the reduction is if it's medically necessary or if the parents request, then I will oblige.
Are you willing to work with your surrogate agency, IVF doctors, and OBGYN doctors to take all the necessary tests and screening to qualify and to travel out of state for operations if necessary?
Absolutely.
And are you willing to work under the instruction of surrogacy supporting staff to provide all the data and information that is requested by the client?
Absolutely.
What kind of expectations do you have for your relationship with the IP couple after birth?
I would enjoy to be kept in the loop, so to speak. My two former IPs, I get periodical pictures of the babies, so I do get to see them grow up and kind of makes me feel like grandma. You know, I can show off the picture of the beautiful baby, but I don't have to take care of it.
Would you expect to see a Christmas card every year and a photo of the baby?
No, I don't expect it.
But it's nice if you have
Oh,
it.
it's a blessing.
Do you have any desire to have future contact with the child as he or she grows into adulthood?
If the child would like to have contact with me, absolutely, but I do not want to force a bond that they might not be comfortable with.
One sensitive issue is abortion and adoption issues. Abortion generally is not allowed in ULANE's SAP terms of services, and we want you to understand that, okay? We have consulted the IPs clearly on this and asked them to sign the terms of services before ULANE took them into the program. But in case the couple divorced or either one or two passed away during the pregnancy, would you consider accepting an abortion?
Yes,
If the above tragic events occurred and you do not prefer an abortion, would you be interested in adopting this child through an arranged agreement?
absolutely.
In the case that the newborn is found with defects, diseases, or disabilities to some degree, even though the IPs are required to take the child after birth, it is our job to ask you about your choice for the possible adoption of the newborn. Can you share with me, please, how you feel about this, and could you change your mind at any time? You could change your mind at any time.
I am completely open to the option of adoption because I do want more children in my family. So, with that being said, I would absolutely adopt.
Are you comfortable providing breast milk feeding to the newborn baby?
I am not comfortable just because of the fact that I do not produce milk and it is extremely painful for me to even attempt to pump.
Okay. Do you currently have a relationship with a client couple? And if so, please describe your relationship.
I do have a relationship with both of my IPs. I get pictures quite often and they give me updates and let me know how the babies are doing. So it's wonderful. It really is.
That's nice. Are you willing to work exclusively with Elaine for at least 12 months as a condition under the SAP?
Yes.
In the event of a failed embryo transfer cycle, are you willing to start the embryo cycle for the same IPs or possibly new IPs?
Yes.
Would you be willing to start the cycle immediately, or would you prefer to start again within 1 to 2 months?
I would prefer to start within 1 to 2 months.
Are you comfortable asking your doctor for the OBGYN results after each visit? And if so, would you be willing to fax or scan those results and email them to us?
Absolutely.
Okay, now this is about reimbursement. ULANE and the surrogate agency provide for one reimbursement of surrogate expenses per month, only for those expenses that have been submitted in the proper form in a timely fashion by the 30th day of the month. Thereafter, ULANE pays the surrogate for those submitted expenses within 30 days after the prior month's expenses are submitted. Do you feel comfortable with this payment of expenses program?
Yes.
And do you agree with conforming to this payment of expenses procedure?
Yes.
Thank you. You understand that you are required to provide the document for missed work days, such as the pay stub for receiving compensation for bed rest. The compensation for bed rest might not be made if documentation showing the bed rest has not occurred, and we want you to understand that. Okay,
I understand.
good. All surrogates are not employed and are therefore not entitled to lost wage reimbursement for physician-ordered bed rest during the surrogate pregnancy and after giving birth. If you do become employed after you submit this form, you're required to not request reimbursement for lost wages in the event you're ordered by the OBGYN on bed rest at any time throughout the pregnancy, during any period of maternity leave, or after giving birth. Do you feel comfortable about this term?
Yes.
You are not being advised that in the event the surrogate forgets or does not supply the monthly completion of surrogacy services listed above by the first of each month, the next compensation payment will be delayed to the next payment month. Are you comfortable with this payment arrangement?
Yes.
Okay. You are not being advised now that delayed payments can result and occur from omitting monthly pregnancy updates. Payment covering the previous monthly submittal will be late and will occur after the restatement of surrogacy services are received by the escrow attorney. The remaining balance will be paid with the next month compensation payment after all paperwork is received. Any objection to this arrangement?
No.
Okay. As a surrogate, you will be paid with the baseline compensation, fees, and many types of bonus. We like to let you know that bonus payment is not compensation and will not apply to the event that the surrogate failed to follow the rules for receiving a bonus. The rules include that you are required to sign the invoices sent to you by the medical providers. In addition, you are required to sign the result of each visit. Are you comfortable with using scanners to scan your signed documents and send?
Yes.
Okay. You're also advised that the surrogate is required to sign the surrogacy closing statement and understand the last month compensation will be paid within 30 days once the closing statement is signed, accompanied by all remaining bills, and received by the escrow attorney. Any objection to this arrangement?
No.
We truly appreciate your time and efforts making this video with us, and we want you to know that the life you're going to give might be conceived of greater value than the life of its own. Before ending this interview, do you have any thoughts you would like to share with our intended parents?
I really hope that they are comfortable with choosing me because I would love to give them a baby.
Thank you very
Would love
much.
to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.